Hey. It's me, Daisy. Welcome. Come on. Let's go. You won't believe what just happened. You won't believe it. All right. That was done. Can't wait to share what I just experienced. You will be shocked, as much as I am. And now I do not feel the best. Feeling nauseous. My back hurts. Feeling a little dizzy, lightheaded. But that's okay. I took the antibiotics that the hospital gave me. Yeah. Get ready. Hey, y'all. It is Daisy, random mom of Ontario. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to this story time. So this is part 3. So this is the day after I went to get an emergency pap smear because I had been to the hospital twice for some women's health issues that were getting worse. And the first time the hospital ruled out all, everything they could rule out. You're gonna have to go back to part 1 to get some more context on this video. But yes, so I went yesterday to Oakville to my doctor and was able to get that emergency pap smear, testing for cervical cancer, HPV, and whatever else needs to be tested for. However, remember in the last 2 videos when I told you the first time I went to the hospital I got an ultrasound, and when the ultrasound technician put the internal camera into my...
I just don't think I'm gonna...
You know what?
Get the answers that I want today.
She said there was something blocking the camera. She said, oh, there's something blocking the camera. I can't see. This has never happened before. She starts wiggling it around, and I guess she was able to, lodge it in the curve of my you-know-what. And take the ultrasound. So when she told me that, I was a little bit taken back because I've had lots of ultrasounds. I have 5 children. I've had 8 pregnancies. So I have been pregnant. I've had ultrasounds. I've done all those things. So I've never heard anyone say that to me in the past 12, 13 years, right? 14 years, 15 years, yeah. So that was a little bit off-putting. I was like, okay, all right, that's strange. So what I was thinking, okay, well, maybe it was what I began to think afterwards, because I continued to experience the symptoms for another 2.5, 3 months, was that it was a prolapse of some sort, that it was a uterine prolapse. And I thought, okay, well, maybe it could have happened from the accident because I was hit from behind pretty, severely, and I have a diastasis recti, which is 12 centimeters below the belly button, and a diastasis recti is when the muscles are separated and you have no protection of your intestines and things like that. So I thought maybe, and I also have a hernia as well. So I thought that was because I was in the accident, and so maybe that caused the prolapse, which I'm not sure if that's totally ruled out yet, but she'll let me know. So that's what I thought that the lady had seen. So I thought she put it in and she's seeing like the uterine prolapse, because I thought it was a prolapse because the discharge that I was having, I've had BV before, and the discharge that I was having was not normal. It was liquid. So I'm thinking, okay, I either have a uterine prolapse, or I'm pregnant. They missed it, and I'm leaking amniotic fluid because it was very, very watery. And then just had like a really foul odor. So what had happened is, so my doctor, we were talking or whatever, and she's like, okay, so let's get this going. So I got ready or whatever, and then she went in and she finally got the right size like tool to open me up. And then she's like, oh, well, you have a tampon up here.
She said, what?
And I was like, what? 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 I was shocked, to say the least, because I'm not saying that can't happen, that something can get left in there. I'm not saying that.
What if something was stuck up there? Like, you know what I mean? If it's never happened before and that's really strange, then you should make a note of it. And you should kind of like...
I would have no time frame as to how long that's been up there. Yeah. And at least from October, when I went to the ultrasound and the technician was able to lodge it in the curve of my you know what. If you're an adult, you can look up diagrams and you'll be able to see, you know, what I'm talking about. And so, yeah. So I spoke to like 6 doctors. I told them the same thing, and nobody thought, why don't we just check? Like, why don't we just look up there? Like, why don't we just make sure, like, there's nothing in there? Like, none of them clued in. None of them thought, let's do that. Let's make sure that we rule that out, because the technician said something. Like, let's talk to the technician. Let's ask her what she saw. Like, let's so on and so forth. So, they sent me home to possibly allow my body to finally, after 4 months, go into toxic shock syndrome and die. All the nurses, I said, well, the first time I had the ultrasound technician said there was something in front of the camera. She was able to, like, push it to the side or wiggle it around and was able to take the ultrasound. None of you were like, let's look into that, though. That's a little bit strange. Like, or why don't we just check inside you, just in case? And then they wanted me to wait another 4 weeks for a gynecologist to look inside, just simply look inside me and do those other tests to rule out cancer, which I now thought I had because of the intensity of the symptoms that I was experiencing. None of them, not one was like, And I made sure the second time around that I went to mention it to every single professional that was helping me. And I said I was concerned about a prolapse, so I'm thinking that when she went in there, she must have seen the prolapse. No, she saw the tampon. She like wiggled the wand around and lodged it instead of asking questions about it and the hospital sent me home to possibly, as I said, die. And if I would have died, no one would have known what happened until they did an autopsy and they went in my body and they found that. Then they'd know the reason as to why I died. But I'm not sure if anyone around me, like maybe my mom or my husband, would be, concerned enough to say this was negligence on the hospital's part. I lied. My mom would probably definitely say that because she knew what I was doing and she knew where I was going. And, I told my husband as well. I'm sure someone would have been like to him, well, like, why didn't the hospital do something about it? And I made sure to tell everyone that I was telling this story about, or telling what I was feeling about, that what the ultrasound tech said. So everyone knew that the ultrasound tech, everyone that was close to me at least, knew that the ultrasound tech had seen something inside of me, which I was thinking was a prolapse, because I did not even have the recollection to think, oh, like maybe it's a tampon or something. Like at that moment, I didn't. And I was already dealing with concussion symptoms, and I was literally just out of it. So my body was able to fight off the infection, so that I didn't end up going into toxic shock and then possibly dying. And my body was able to do that for 4 months plus. I don't know how long that was in there. And obviously, like, the grace of the Father, it's grace. Like, I am very, very, very blessed that my body just didn't decide to be like, you know what, like, we're tired of trying to get rid of this thing inside your body, so we're just gonna let the bacteria kill you, essentially. This is why I believe it is so important to have advocacy. It is so important to make the professionals listen to you. And my mom would say this to me all the time, like, make sure you go in and like you like are serious, and like you don't leave without getting answers, and and like when you have 4 to 5 professionals telling you the same thing, or kind of like bullying you to say, oh, like you don't know what you're talking about, or there's nothing wrong with you, or so on and so forth, you kind of like back down. You're tired, like you're not feeling well, you're tired of trying to convince these people that there's something going on. Then you start to believe that, okay, well, they tried everything, so I should be fine. And you end up going on with your life, and then boom, you die, or boom, you get real sick, and then they want to say, oh, like that has nothing to do with us. That was wrong. It was so wrong. It was so wrong. Even my doctor said she's mad at the hospital, because like, what are you doing? Like, just check. You had me there for 6 hours. Check. Just make sure. This is the second time that I'm coming. It may be the first time, okay, you could give them a bly, but I came back again. And these are the statistics for like TTS or TSS, toxic shock syndrome. And it says like you need to change your feminine product, your tampon, every 4, I think it's like 3 to 4 hours, or 4 to 6, one of the two. But you're supposed to change it very frequently, or else you can go into toxic shock syndrome. And so it's a miracle that my body did not go into toxic shock. So she still took the pap smear for the HPV virus, which I don't believe I have, because it doesn't, like, we would have caught it. I have pap smears every time I have children, and the last one was in 2021, so that is like, we're like right on schedule. So she doesn't believe that could be an issue that I'm dealing with. The only thing she might be concerned about is the fact that I've had so many kids, and like the cervix changes every time, so that might be a reason why that could come about. Or I was looking up, doing some more research, that like if you have a reoccurring or an untreated BV infection, it can cause like cells to become, or DNA to become damaged, and cancer cells can grow. But judging based on how strong my immune system or my body is, by the grace of the Father, I should be okay. Like I probably don't have cancer, which is positive. That's definitely a positive thing, and it's obviously a positive thing that they got it out. And because like at any point, as I said, my body could have just been like, yeah, well, we're tired, so good luck. Like, yeah, it's just crazy. So let me know if you've had any experiences with the hospital where they've kind of like downplayed your symptoms, or told you like, we can't help you, or sent you home when you needed help. This is not the first time I've experienced like medical quote unquote negligence or medical stupidity. Like, people do make mistakes, and that's understandable, but the amount, as I said, the amount of professionals I spoke to and saw and pleaded with and so on and so forth is just disgusting. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just really scary, and I wouldn't want this happening to anyone else. Definitely wouldn't. So I have to wait for the results to see if anything else transpired because of that being in my body for so long and the bacteria growing and whatnot. But since it's been out, like at least like the discharge and stuff and the smell has gone down like immensely. So yeah, I do have the pictures, and I took a video of it too, just for records, because in case I need to, you know, squat up. Yeah. I'm gonna end it here though. It's been pretty long, 16 minutes. I'll talk to you guys soon, let you know what's going on from here. But yeah, it's gonna take a week to 3 weeks to find out those results, to see if I actually do have cancer or not, and or if there's anything else going on down there as my body now begins to heal. I just gotta take those antibiotics for, how long am I taking this for? For 14 days. Unless they change it, because I have an issue with these two. It's another story. I have another issue with these. This is what I took the first time I had the BV, and now this is a 14-day treatment. But I have an issue with it, and you need to hear this one too. See y'all. Father's blessings.